Intro music fades slightly to background. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the brutal and heartbreaking history of one of Marvel's most iconic, most ferocious, and most beloved characters, the Wolverine. Now, if you only know him from the movies, you've only scratched the surface. His comic book origin is a century-spanning epic of love, loss, betrayal, and the relentless search for identity. So, grab your popcorn, because this is a wild ride. To truly understand the man who would become Wolverine, we have to travel way back to the late 1880s, in Alberta, Canada. We're introduced to a sickly young boy named James Howlett, the son of the wealthy landowner John Howlett, and his wife, Elizabeth. James is a frail kid, plagued by allergies, and constantly doted on by his mother. His only real friends are a young red-headed girl from the neighboring estate, Rose O'Hara, who was brought in to be his companion, and a boy named Dog Logan, the son of the cruel groundskeeper, Thomas Logan. Now, Thomas Logan is a nasty piece of work. He's abusive, drinks heavily, and has a striking resemblance to... well, you can probably guess where this is going. There's a dark undercurrent of tension on the Howlett estate, and it all boils over one tragic night, after being thrown off the property for his violent behavior. A drunken Thomas Logan returns with his son, Dog, to rob the estate and, it's implied, to run away with Elizabeth Howlett, with whom he's been having a secret affair. They storm the manor, and in the ensuing chaos, Thomas Logan shoots and kills John Howlett right in front of young James. The trauma and rage of that moment triggers something dormant within the boy. For the first time, 3 bone claws painfully erupt from the back of each of his hands. In a blind fury, James lunges at Thomas Logan and impales him, killing his father's murderer. But as Thomas lies dying, he utters his final words, revealing a shocking truth. He is James's biological father. The horror of it all is too much for Elizabeth Howlett. She screams at James, calling him a monster, an animal, and rejects him completely. The psychological shock is so immense that James's mind, aided by his nascent healing factor, buries the entire memory. He has no idea who he is or what he's just done. His grandfather and Rose quickly orchestrate an escape. They tell everyone that it was Rose and Dog who were the culprits, and they send James and Rose on the run. To protect his identity, Rose gives him a new name, one based on a half-remembered nickname, Logan. Logan and Rose find refuge in a stone quarry in British Columbia. Here, the once frail boy grows into a strong, resilient man. His healing factor makes him tougher than anyone else, and his animal-like senses make him an incredible hunter and worker. He's still haunted by flashes of a past he can't remember, but for a while, he finds a semblance of peace. He even falls in love with the foreman, Smitty, who becomes a mentor and friend to him. But tragedy is never far from Logan's life. Remember Dog Logan? He has grown up to be just as cruel as his father, and has been hired by Logan's grandfather to hunt him down. Dog finds Logan, and, in a brutal confrontation, tries to kill him. During the fight, Logan accidentally causes the death of his beloved mentor, Smitty. Devastated, Logan retreats into the wilderness, choosing to live among wolves, feeling more akin to them than to humans. He truly becomes a wild man, leaving his humanity behind. For years, Logan lives this feral existence. His memories are a fractured mess, and his life is pure instinct. This is the period where he hones his tracking and fighting skills to a razor's edge. He's more animal than man, a legend whispered about in the Canadian North. This all changes with the arrival of a clandestine organization known as Weapon X. They see this feral man with an incredible healing factor not as a person, but as the perfect living weapon. They capture Logan, and this is where the most famous part of his transformation begins. They subject him to a horrifyingly painful procedure. They bond the near-indestructible metal, adamantium, to his entire skeleton, including his claws. The process would have killed any normal person, but Logan's healing factor keeps him alive through every agonizing second. The adamantium bonding is a success, but the psychological trauma is immense. They wipe his mind again, implanting false memories and turning him into a programmable assassin, a mindless puppet, controlled by a complex system of trigger words and scenarios. For years, he operates as Weapon X's top agent, sent on countless Black Ops missions, leaving a trail of bodies across the globe. He fights alongside other future legends like Captain America and Bucky Barnes during World War II, and later forms alliances with figures like Sabretooth, who becomes his most bitter and personal nemesis. Throughout this time, fragments of his past, flashes of Rose, his real name, and the trauma of his childhood bubble to the surface. But Weapon X is always there to suppress them, to push him back down into the darkness. He's a prisoner in his own mind, a living weapon with a stolen soul. His eventual escape from the Weapon X facility is a bloody, chaotic rampage. He breaks free, a force of pure, untamed rage, slaughtering his captors, but with no memory of who he is, or where he came from. All he knows is pain, betrayal, and an unquenchable anger. He is, once again, alone in the Canadian wilderness, a man with a metal skeleton, unbreakable claws, and a shattered past. It's during this period of wandering that he is found by James and Heather Hudson, the leaders of Canada's superhero team, Alpha Flight. They help him regain a measure of his humanity, giving him a purpose and a place to belong. They help him control his rage and use his abilities for good. It's under their guidance that he officially adopts the codename Wolverine, but Logan's journey is far from over. He eventually leaves Alpha Flight and is recruited by Professor Charles Xavier to join his new team of X-Men here. Among other outcasts and mutants, Logan finally finds a true family. He becomes a mentor to young mutants like Kitty Pryde and Jubilee, develops a fierce, complicated rivalry and romance with Jean Grey, and becomes the gruff, tough-ass Nell's heart of the team. Even as a hero, his past continues to haunt him. He spends decades piecing together the fragments of his life, fighting enemies from his Weapon X days, confronting the ghosts of his family, and battling the inner beast that always threatens to consume him. His story is a powerful testament to the idea that it's not our origins that define us, but the choices we make. He was born James Howlett, turned into the weapon Logan, and chose to become the hero, Wolverine. He's the best there is at what he does, and what he does is fight for a better world, despite coming from the very worst of it. And that's the epic, tragic, and ultimately inspiring origin of Wolverine. It's a story that spans over a century and shows how a man can endure unimaginable pain and loss and still emerge as a hero. What's your favorite Wolverine moment? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more stories from the comic book universe. Ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.